Ah, see, it tried to get me. Good, I got you. That's interesting. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Hey, I've got less than a minute to go for today's message, but for a second there, it wasn't letting me do it. Great. Ah, technology can only hope to slow me down. It cannot defeat me. And y'all need to remember that. Remember that. Okay, let's roll with this. Man, God is so good. Boom. All right. Let me make sure I'm doing this right, and it looks like I am. Boom. I win. Hey. All right, we got less than a minute to go for today's message. And I got two computers going so that I can read any comments that come on because I still haven't figured out how to see them on my main computer. So that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna get everything right. Okay. Okay, let me go like this and see if that makes a difference. And let us roll with today's message. Okay, well, we'll see whether or not I see the. Okay, let me do this. Okay, I can always come back and say thanks to everybody as I go. But hey, welcome to Gift Friday and goodness to you. I say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening, but isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? Welcome to Gift Friday. Now, I call it, let me go backwards here for a second. All right. I don't mind. I don't mind just seeing me do that. How many times I created because how many times have we heard people say TGIF? Thank God it's Friday. But I say, what a Lord does Friday have to the person who took their last breath on Thursday? Or any day before that for that matter. So I use what I've learned through Psalm 92 and 2, and that is it is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening. Therefore, instead of using TGIF, I use TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. Because to have the gift to be able to wake up, go through the whole day, and do it again tomorrow, that's what I'm going to be thanking God for. And I think I got my other. See, as I get better at the technology, I don't mind telling you, as I get better at it, you get better service. And that's what I'm here to do. Loving it, loving it. So, anyway, this gives me another way to look at our celebration today. And that is one of my other favorite scriptures, Matthew 6 and 34. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. TGIT, thank God it's tonight. Today's trouble is enough for today. TGIT, thank God it's today. Yes, darkness always precedes the light. And see, now I'll be able to see when you put comments in the thread. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I get excited. All right. But anyway, let's move on. Today's trouble is enough for today. Darkness always precedes the light. So let's not kick TGIF to the curb. In fact, let's find another way that we can consider it. How about TGIF? Trusting God is free. Think about what it costs to be blessed with the greatest gift of the day, waking up. Trusting God is free. And that still moves us into realizing that we can do a little math. We can do some subtraction and some addition. So let's first subtract that T from the front of TGIF and add it to the end, and we get TGIF Actually, we get GIFT, what we should be thanking God for all the time, and that is the fact that God is for today. Gift Friday. It's the online sharing of one of my original poems or poetic messages, and its possible uses to inspire audiences online, in person, or in spirit, because you need the motivation as well. And motivation is self inflicted. How about inflicted as a word for, yeah, you got to do it to yourself, okay? Each poem will then be my gift to you. So here you hear me read it and share this week's gift. Then you will be able to download your keepsake colorful copy, which I will post in Facebook and in LinkedIn. Today's gift theme is about a gift that you have that you may be taking for granted, and that is your expanding and lasting impact. And I'll unveil it through my poem, You Kept Me Up Late Last Night. That's the closing poem in my book, which is a dedicated a poem. I'm sorry, a book dedicated to God's greatest gift to and source of mankind, women. Do you have any idea how fine you are? So I'll begin with the introduction as it appears in the book. Mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, friends, you are the object of countless secret admirers and worthy of that praise. This final poem will remind you that someone somewhere is thinking about you, and it doesn't have to be a man. For just as you are blessed to be the right person, you are blessed to have the right people in your life. Think about a different loved one or person every time you read, You Kept Me Up Late Last Night. I could almost make out your figure through the darkness in which we sat. So I sat and I listened and I felt your every word as they lingered in the black. I closed my eyes, but I opened them shortly, for I missed you in that span. Your fragrance enticed my nostrils. Your voice welcomed me back. Your actions called for my attention. Your wisdom rang in my ear. You kept me up late last night, and you weren't even here. Well, obviously, that was a romantic poem that I wrote. And in this case, it was during my college days to my girlfriend who was studying abroad. I've always commented and contended that words are powerful. Yet years later, a friend of mine, Edwina Thomas, told me that she used the poem to eulogize a close friend. Wow. After her blessing me with that use of my words through her need, I thought of some other ways to use You Kept Me Up Late Last Night. So let's look at how many ways we can use that message. You see, it's not just a poem. One, a lot of people giggle when I read the title as their mind drift to adult thoughts. And that's okay. That's okay. Let your mind drift to adult thoughts. You kept me up late last night. Of course, the closing line immediately switches that thought. And while keeping it in a romantic mood, you now feel a warmth flowing throughout your body, starting from your eyes and smile. And there's a good chance that a particular person came to mind. Two, thus another level. That person may not have been a romantic interest at all, but a child, a best friend, or someone that you've been praying for their well-being. You see how it's already starting to shift the meaning of who keeps you up late at night? So you can use the message to have a wonderful icebreaker or roundtable discussion and talk about the different relationships in your group's lives. In fact, it's a great self-esteem builder as individuals talk about the loved ones in their lives and then extend it to discuss how those people have shown them that they are worthy. In fact, today on my on Facebook, you'll see a post where I talk about wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Self-love is the key. I believe it's the first principle to sharing love. You have to love yourself so you have something to give and worthiness. Hey, what's going on, Figgy? All right. See, now I got, like I say, I got it to where I can read in the comments. All right, go sporty technology. Okay. Meanwhile, next, I've used the poem as a going away present during military presentations where the families are preparing for deployment. You see, it's so important for military families to not deny their emotions and feelings, as well as for you. But I'm using them as in this example. Denial could cause stress that can lead to ulcers, even anger and resentment of those who are closest to you. Next, as a speaker, it shows commitment to the number one communication skill, listening. A speaker's calling should be to listen to their audience and then have a conversation focused on their concerns. Instead of telling Edwina that she used the poem wrong, I thanked her for using it to fit her need, which extends my conversation to remind you to constantly choose your messengers carefully so that the thought that's keeping you up is not one of fear or dread, but of fun and endearment. And who hasn't been kept up late? Parents, you've done it in your child's first date with a new curfew, where you trusted them when you heard the key in the door and their voice. Maybe you even acted like you were waking up to find out how everything went well. And don't we still say goodnight by telling someone to call me when you get home? Whether because it's late at night, the weather's bad, or you feel like they haven't taken a break that day and may be more tired than they're admitting. See, we've all done some of these things. Not only do we and have we all kept someone up late at night, we're all loved and have an impact on someone's life that makes us an important piece of their puzzle. See, life is about going from one puzzle to the next. You're either a small, medium, or large piece of every puzzle in your family, or social lives. Yet, no matter what puzzle piece size you see yourself as, without you, the puzzle is incomplete. We're all loved and have an impact on someone's life that makes us an important piece of their puzzle. Also, words are powerful, and you never know how yours will be used, making them even more powerful. Why? Because you have to know who you are and how powerful you are to trust yourself to share them. And yours just may steer someone in the direction that God has chosen for them. So I didn't tell Edwina she was wrong about how she used my words. I thank myself as well as thanking her, but I thank myself for being blessed that someone would use my words in the way that God saw fit to bless their lives. Which brings me to my final and my newly joyful expansion point. You see, some of my BFs, my broadcast family, get so excited and willing to join and contribute to my posts on my broadcasts. And just this past week, two of them have totally renamed my broadcast. So I thought I'd share that to make this point about someone getting the words according to how God puts it in their spirit. Here's what they said in their comments. First, Daphne, who was joining in on Truth Thursday, she wrote, "Hey, hey, hey, it's Truthful Thursday." And I responded while speaking back to the screen and in the moment. And I said, yes, because we have to be full of the truth, the trust, and the tests that unfold when we recognize that test is the base of testimony. And that's right when she realized she had, updated the name. And I said something else about that. But here's a little bit of our back and forth. She then wrote, whoops. And I wrote, so much easier to say. Truthful Thursday is easier than saying Truth Thursday, right? You are one of my original co-authors, and there are WWs. wonderful whoops between us. And she said, that's what's wrong with us baby boomers. We don't read, so we make up stuff. And then another person and that was on Facebook. Then on LinkedIn, I had another one of my BFs, my broadcast family, Carol Cat Turner, decides who was responding to my Monday midday moment. She wrote, I love Monday math with Uncle Sporty. Things really add up. To which I responded, and I'm just loving how y'all rename my broadcast. And then I told her about Daphne. Daphne renamed Truth Thursday to Truthful Thursday. And I really mean that, though, that I love it. The renames are an expression of freedom to shout out how you've been touched individually to the point where you don't think about what it's called. You share about what you feel. Think about that as you let that sink in. You don't need to care about what something called. You share about what you feel. And if you think about it, well, let me make you think about it, or let me help you think about it. My company name, which a lot of people sometimes don't even think about that, is called The Top Line. Because we hear people talk about the bottom line, but the top line to me is how I feel affects other people. See, how you feel makes a difference. And when I'm helping somebody with their business, I say to them, top line is how I feel affects other people. And then add to that, how other people feel affects your business, but also how other people feel affects you. So don't worry so much about what something is called sometimes. Think about how it makes you feel. And now I'm going off script, but I can't help it. But that begot her updated reply, which was, well, it was hashtag Monday midnight math for me this week. So she's renaming the rename. It's a holy time here in our community with the precious matriarch preparing for a full moon crossing to a Beulah land reunion party and all that goes on with that. So both Daphne and Kat Turner renamed my broadcast, and I totally loved and appreciated it. I totally loved and appreciated it because it means that they were comfortable enough to enjoy how it made them feel and then express that. Hey, Dee Dee, welcome back. Oh, gosh, good to see you over here. See, I'm getting good at it. I got two screens going, Ghost 40. Okay, I relax. I digress. But let me just remind you that comfort, that renaming, that is why that you're blessed to keep someone up late at night. And I thank you for tuning in on this day and enjoying Gift Friday. If you like a copy, the poem will be in the thread. For a copy of the book, go to my new store on Square. Yep. Again, getting some new technology going. And I just want to give acknowledgement to my good brother in Chicago, Bruce Brown, who designed this cover for me when it's my title poem of the book. Do you have any idea how fine you are? And I just said to him, Bruce, draw me a beautiful woman. I don't want her to have any ethnicity. I don't want her to, I just want a beautiful woman. And I think that this is an expression of just beauty. And he didn't look at a photograph. He actually drew one of them axes and a circle. I said, man, this brother is so talented. So I want to celebrate him there as well. So again, now on my Square QR, you can see any of my books and products. I want you to have a safe life starting with this day and this weekend again. Thanks for joining me on Gift Friday, knowing that GIFT, God is for today. So please don't doubt your lasting impact. I'm Sporty King. God bless you. And let me get on over here and just double check some closing comments. All right. Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. How beautiful. Yay. Yay, me. I got it figured out. Go me, go me. Yes. Man, and see, I always like to say, the reason I tell you about things when I'm, learning and doing things with technology. It's because one thing I always say, and it reminds me of one of my good friends, Dr. Jean Lightfoot, rest in peace. She used to always crack up because I say, look, if I'm your IT person, you're in trouble. I said, but the thing is, I won't let technology beat me. And so I will hang in there and figure out technology. Yep. All right. So yeah, thank you, Dee Dee. And the funny thing is, yeah, boys, I'm doing real good if you saw how I used to be doing with this. But again, as in our older years, don't get intimidated by technology. Figure it out and make it work for you. Look, God bless y'all. Stay safe and have a wonderful weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, starting with loving yourself. Peace. Let me get back over here. Bam, me, go me. Nice.